At Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, today the Arizona Wranglers with a record of 3-4 out of the Western Conference, and the New Jersey Generals sharing the lead in the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference with a record of 6-1. There is an autumnal feel about the weather on this Palm Sunday. It is rainy, it is cool. The temperature is expected to stay in the mid to high 40s. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and though we have the cool weather here in New Jersey today, it may be a refreshing sort of a thing for some of these veteran legs that have been around for more than 10 years in professional football. And two of the veterans who play a key role for the Arizona Wranglers are concerned about their team's slow start with a record of 3-4. Here is quarterback Greg Landry and Stan White, linebacker.
Well, what we have to do is play 60 minutes of football, and unfortunately we've been playing about 58 or 59. We seem to be making enough mistakes to cost us the games, which is unlike George Allen teams, and it's something that we've been working hard this week to try to correct. But if we can eliminate the mistakes, no team has really beaten us. We've beaten ourselves all season long.
Well, personally, it's just my job to make sure that the guys are all playing the right defense and for the right situation. If you try to do more than what your job is, you're liable to take away from what you're doing and what your responsibilities are. You know, if each guy takes care of his own position, his own job, that's when you avoid the mistakes. And maybe that's what we should be doing, is making sure everybody takes care of just their own responsibilities before they go and help somebody else.
It is not fair, Lynn Swan, to suggest anything other than the Arizona Wranglers are still in the hunt. But if they lose today and Denver's already won, they are in real trouble in that Pacific Division. And you don't want to get down to that old cliche, there is no tomorrow. But tomorrow is beginning to get kind of dim for them if they can't come in here today and win a ball game.
That's certainly true. And motivation-wise, they are down a little bit, but they have to get themselves up, and I think they will. But these are two teams, Keith, that would really like to run the football. Kevin Long and Tim Spencer last year combined for 1,000 yards apiece. And in New Jersey, well, of course, the story is Herschel Walker. He came into the season with injured shoulders. I mean, injured badly. And he could not be himself, did not run very well. Now, against the LA Express, he re-injured his shoulder. And this is the play we're looking at right now. It's been a big problem for him. We've asked Herschel how that injured shoulder have affected his ball game, and if he's changed his running style.
Well, you know, I started out the first of the season sort of, and I changed, and I was running a little bit high, where I was sort of trying to use a lot of moves against defensive backs, a lot of moves against linebackers, which I can't do. My great advantage is my speed. My great advantage is the power that I have behind my force that I'm running with. And now I'm going to have to use my shoulder, and I think I can use it. I think with the pads that I have on now, I think they're going to secure my shoulder a great deal where I can use it a great deal.
Now, with these two teams, the individual matchups are going to be very important, and there are a lot of interesting matchups, but I think the key one matches Trumaine Johnson against the New Jersey secondary.
Every time I see Trumaine, I have mixed emotions. I admire his talent and ability, and I say, these are the young kids that force me out of the football game. He's so talented. What he will do is he will help by his ability to open up the other receivers. If he gets double covered, the other receivers are going to have single coverage. Now, these are the men who are responsible. Justin, Williams, Johnson, and Barbaro, and they will have to mix up that coverage and spread themselves out very thin because of how good Trumaine Johnson is and what he will dictate in the passing game.
All right, now there's another element here involving the New Jersey offensive front against the older folks who play the defensive front for Arizona.
Brian Sipe talked to us earlier about the age and about the young talent. You see the offensive line of the New Jersey Generals versus the Arizona defensive line. The age, the average age. Look at the matchup between Harris and Ehrman, between Millard and Lorch. That's going to be a key matchup throughout the entire ball game. The Arizona team has played well, but it's New Jersey that always plays better in the second half. We'll be right back.
The 8th week of the United States Football League 1984. Arizona Wranglers and the New Jersey Generals. The Wranglers up against it with a record of 3-4 out in that Western Conference. As noted, And the Generals with a record of 6-1. The toss of the coin out in the center of the field for today's ball game.
He calls heads. He calls heads.
The referee is Ted
And
Humphrey.
it is heads. You've won the toss. Want the football? Which way would you like to kick, Captain? Turn that way, please.
So the Arizona Wranglers will have the first possession.
Wins the toss and has elected to receive.
The Generals will kick off. And the man who does the kicking for New Jersey, Roger Ruzek, the man who will be back to receive it for George Allen's Wranglers, Alan Clark, out of northern Arizona. He had 4 years with the New England Patriots, and as Jim Lampley said a moment ago, the Patriots got into the news this week for the fact that Greg James might be going over there or trying to go over there if he can shake off the knee injury. And as we noted, Lynn Swan and I, these are two teams that prefer to run the football, and they both do it very well. But for some strange reason, the Arizona Wranglers and last year the Chicago Blitz could not beat the Philadelphia Stars. However, the Chicago Blitz, which in the main were the people who make up the Arizona Wranglers, last year defeated the New Jersey Generals here in the Giant Stadium in an overtime ball game. So it'll be interesting to see this afternoon whether or not George Allen can restore the confidence and concentration to his team that can keep them alive late in the ball game.
Keith, I think one of the areas we're going to see whether this team has restored concentration and motivation will be in their special teams. And right here, beginning with the kickoff. Last week, they fumbled punt returns, many mistakes on their special teams. They have Alan Clark back this time. Eddie Brown, Tremaine Johnson had problems last week. We'll take a look and see how they perform this week when they have a chance to return kickoffs and punts.
The primary kickoff return man is Alan Clark, with Lenny Willis being a starter. Clark has taken over the duties. Willis was averaging right at 24 yards per return. Clark, since he took over the job, has been averaging under 20 at 19. It's a high-hanging kick for Allen. He takes the ball at the 7, and he finds a hole and comes back across the 25 and goes down at the 26, where John Jewell belts him down. So the veteran Greg Landry, who if he gets 192 yards today, will pass 20,000. He starts at quarterback. Had a ball get away from him last week. That was costly when it looked like Arizona might move into posture for a field goal try and possible victory. Spencer and Long, the setbacks. Tremaine Johnson and Willis, all the wide receivers. Lenny Willis comes to the bottom of the picture. Johnson to the top of the picture. And right now, Arizona operating into the wind. They give the ball to Tim Spencer, a 215-pound running back, and he picks up a couple of yards, running behind this offensive front. And it's a big bunch. Rob Taylor at tackle is 280, Tom Thayer 260 at guard, Jerry Sullivan 250 at center, Dave Huffman 255 at guard, and John Stadnick 280 at tackle, with Paul Ricker 235 and 6'3" out of Norwich, but he's very quick for a tight end. Landry throws the ball, hands it off to Kevin Long, and Kevin Long is belted right up the line of scrimmage by the defensive front led by Tom Woodland, who shares that three-down posture with James Lockett and Lynn Madsen. The linebackers are Harper, LeClaire, Horn, and Leopold. And the defensive secondary lines up this way: Justin, Johnson, Barbaro, and Williams. So it is third down and long. 3rd and 7 now for Arizona, with Boatner and Dennison in, along with Larry Douglas. That puts them in a double wide formation to the bottom of your picture. Greg Landry to throw it. Goes over the middle with it short to Mike Boatner. Boatner, a big back at 220 pounds. He runs over Mike Williams and gets the first down.
Mac Boatner comes in the ball game with Dennison. They are excellent running backs when it comes to third and long situations, catching the football. They're among the top receivers on this ball club. And that time, New Jersey didn't do anything differently than what we've seen them do in the past. They dropped back in the zone coverage, gave them a lot of room to work underneath.
Wet and windy day to Meadowlands. First down for Arizona. The ball is up at the 39, where Landry steps up on first down. Quick out to Lenny Willis. Willis is knocked out of bounds at the 45, picked up about 6 yards. Mike Williams came over to make the hit for him. Arizona led Philadelphia by a score of 21-6 last week out in Tempe, Arizona, and then wound up losing the ball game 22-21. And the team they're chasing right now would be the Denver Gold. Denver winning yesterday to go to 7-1. So that's the point we made at the beginning, that tomorrow is going to be a day of reckoning. And George Allen would certainly prefer to be reckoning over a win in New Jersey than another loss. The ball is handed off to Kevin Long, who played for 5 years under Walt Michaels with the New York Jets when they were both over there, and the big guy from South Carolina's got another first down as he puts the ball on the New Jersey 48.
He's running between number 75, Rob Thayer, and number 61, Rob Taylor, number 61, Tom Thayer. They just opened up a nice hole for him, gave him the room to just go straight ahead without being touched before he met the people in the secondary.
From the 48 of the Generals, it's first down for Arizona. And they stay on the ground to Spencer. He gets a couple down to the 46. The tackle, Jim LeClaire, number 55, a 12-year veteran out of the NFL, and his first season in the USFL.
LeClaire came in on the tackle so quickly, Keith, it almost looked like it might have been a blitz or at least a stunt, and that would be highly unusual for this New Jersey defense so early in the ball game.
They may choose to do some of that today, especially if the Wranglers start moving the ball on the ground. Spencer going in motion, which in effect puts him in a slot position, and Landry back to throw, throws it away. He was trying to get the ball, dump it off to Kevin Long that set up sort of a screen out there for Kevin, and Landry couldn't get the ball to it. In case you're curious, it's 92 degrees in Phoenix and sunny. It's been hot out west. It's about 96 in my backyard when I left. Third down and long. 3rd and 8 for the Wranglers. The Generals showing blitz. LeClaire in the middle. Now he drops off into the short zone. The pass goes to the sidelines. The pass to Trumaine Johnson. Good for a first down. Just enough at the 37 of the Generals.
Mike Williams is giving Trumaine Johnson such a cushion. Look, he just gave him 7 yards here, but look at number 26 right there. He's looking inside, trying to give help if Trumaine Johnson comes to the inside. That's Barbaro, the safety. Had he come inside, he would have been in position to step in front of him and give Williams help. He went to the outside. It wasn't even a contest. No fakes involved. Just run down the field, squared out. It's a first down. They have to close the gap on Trumaine Johnson.
Double wide, bottom of the picture. Landry gives the ball to Long. Long skips his way through there. And Kevin bangs his way all the way down to the 28-yard line. He's only a yard short of his first down. Leopold, the tackle.
Kevin Long, he began his career in 1977. He was drafted by the Jets. The first year that man right there, Walt Michaels, came in as the head coach. Both men respect each other's talent. Kevin Long, unfortunately, was let go later on, but now is still playing football. He would just like to show his old coach that he's still got the legs to play this game.
Arizona trying to do what it did last week against Philadelphia on the first possession, put it in the end zone. Over the middle it goes. My gosh, what do you have to do with it? Lenny Willis had it right on the numbers. He had a wide open lane to the goal line, and he dropped it.
The ball came in, and either he blinked or just took his eyes off the ball. I saw a defensive back flash right across his face just before the ball got there. Maybe it distracted him because it just went clean through his hands and popped off his chest. I talked to Trumaine Johnson before the game, Keith, and he said what they would like to do is run the short slant passes inside. He thinks that's open. That time it might have been open for a touchdown.
That was 6 points. Because everybody else was headed the wrong way. That's Kevin Long finds a little hole and pounds his way down to the 20. And that'll be another first down for Arizona. LeClaire, the tackle.
He does a great job here. He almost is trapped, but number 46, Tim Spencer, does a good job of staying up and keeping his man blocked to the outside. He hesitated, then cut up this side where there was a hole, picking up good yardage for the first down. George Allen, I'm sure, is happy with the progress of his team. and was happy with the progress of his team on their first drive last week. What he wants is the same kind of consistency in the fourth quarter when they fall apart.
Well, just short of the 20. Landry on first down, looking to throw. They give him some green to run on, and Greg ambles on down for 4.5 to 5 yards.
Greg Landry, like you said, Keith, he needs almost 200 yards, and he'll have 20,000 yards for a career. Playing 16 years, you don't throw for that many yards because you're anxious to run the football. And they'll give him room to run. He will not take it in most cases unless all of his people are absolutely covered. And New Jersey did a great job covering them on that play.
Generals have been pretty stingy, as you saw from that graphic. It's second down and call it 6 at the 16. They show blitz. And it works as LeClaire came in to get Spencer. Number 50, Bob Horn, stepped up first showing blitz. LeClaire held his position, and then when Horn stepped back, LeClaire came.
Well, you've got LeClaire and Horn both coming up, but you've got Bob Woodland right over the center. That's a dilemma. The center's got 3 people all around him. Which one do you block? He snaps the ball. They pick up Horn, but LeClaire comes right in. I don't think that Landry thought they were going to actually come with the blitz. He handed off to Tim Spencer, and LeClaire, well, he was the second quarterback so deep in the backfield making a tackle.
Dennison, Boatner, and Douglas are in now. Arizona's converted 3 straight times in this possession on third down. Landry's pass to the corner. He's there. It is Douglas. Touchdown. The defensive man got lost on the play. Douglas turned him around, and Greg Landry threw a knuckleball into the end zone, but it worked.
Keith, but watch this. This is a mark of a good quarterback. Larry Douglas hasn't made his break yet, and the ball is in the air. Now he makes his break. He sees the ball going to the outside. He breaks to the outside, catches Justin unaware of it. It's like catching a punt. Larry Douglas, he is probably, Keith, the fastest man on this football team because I saw him when he was in Pittsburgh camp. He runs at least a 4.3 40-yard dash.
Frank Corral is in. He has kicked 36 consecutive points after going back to last season. Alan Risher the hole for him. He got a piece of it and knocked it out of there. Number 57, John Miller of Mississippi State, came slashing in and got a piece of it and slapped it out of the uprights. So the extra point is missed. Here's the kick now. It goes towards Marcus Hackett. Rod Pegues, it is Hackett. And Hackett tiptoes up through the middle, gets a fine run back, and comes all the way out to the 28-yard line before Alan Clark, who returns the kickoffs for Arizona, makes the tackle. They set on more than 6 minutes of time in that opening possession to get the 6-point lead here in the first quarter of play. New Jersey's first possession with Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthen lined up behind Brian Sipe. Hand the ball off inside to Carthen, and he's got a couple of yards up near the 30. Brian Sipe opening up as the most efficient quarterback in the USFL with a 62.5% completion ratio. Walker, back from his shoulder injury, sat out last week. He's got a pair of tailored shoulder pads on. Carthen's been carrying the heavy load. The wide receivers you saw. It's Mackey, Lapham, Hull, Harris, Millard, and Speck is at tight end. Sam Bowers did not dress. Sam Bowers, they think, may have a cracked bone in his ankle. He's not shaken off the ankle injury. A sack goes to the air and throws for Marcus Hackett in at wide receiver and missed him on the sidelines. The wind is swirling around. It's gusting up to maybe 20 miles an hour down on the stadium, and it's going to cause some trouble in a pass thrown more than 20 yards this afternoon. Some idea of how brisk it is across the top of the stadium. The Arizona defense, Lorch, Erman, Lathrop, and Lee, and they're called the rush men, and they pride themselves on their ability to rush the passer. Smith, Von Horst, and White the linebackers. Defensive backs, and that's a patchwork backfield of Benefield, Allen, Brown, and Bradley. Bradley's the only man that's been in there every Sunday since the season started. Sanchez not here, broken bone in his hand. This is Carthen carrying the ball. Coming off the left side, he's got about 4 on that carry up near the 35. It'll be 4th down for the New Jersey Generals. So in their first possession, they're unable to turn the first down, and they send in Grupp to do the punting. He will have the wind at his back. He's averaging just over 40 yards per punt. He's kicked 11 times since he took over the job. Eddie Brown goes back to receive for Arizona. He is a 7-year pro veteran out of Tennessee. Rupp's kick is away. The snap was a little bit off to the side. He had to step over to get it. And as a result, didn't get a good drop, and he didn't get a particularly good kick out of it. 34 yards, Arizona's ball.
This computer ranks the Stallions as the #1 team in the USFL, but in the first quarter, the Panthers have gone on top of them. This Aver to Holloway 38-yard touchdown pass has given Michigan a 7-0 lead. With Carter out, Holloway is under pressure, and he's producing. 7-0 Michigan. Now to Keith Jackson.
6-0 Arizona lead, and the Wranglers come to the attack just outside their 31. Mike Barry is back with us as our reporter from the field today. We'll be visiting him in a little while, I'm sure. And they send Willis in motion. Kerry Justin coming across. In the meantime, the middle opens up for Kevin Long, and Long breaks it across midfield all the way to the New Jersey 49.
Terrific hole by the offensive line. Number 68, David Huffman, the right guard, combines with Jerry Sullivan, the center. Look at them drive the defensive line to the inside. A truck could have driven through that hole. Number 33, Long, just takes the ball, runs straight down the field. Watch Huffman again. That's a double team. The nose man right there, number 71, Tom Woodland. They come inside. Now it's a sprint.
Long has picked up 40 yards on 5 carries already. On first down, Landry goes to the other running back, Spencer, and Tim, in his second year out of Ohio State, is to the 47 for a couple of yards for Horn and LeClaire. Bring him down.
LeClaire will definitely have his hands full as we take a look at him here on that last play. He's got to read a backfield that possessed 2 1,000-yard rushers from 1983. He's got to contend with that line, then try and make those tackles. He does a good job here. They only pick up about 3 yards, but it is tough on the middle backer to make the reads with that kind of talent in the backfield.
Second down and 8.
Back up, man, behind the line.
Well, the wide receiver, Lenny Willis, left too soon. That flag is dropped. And
as Long was going down with the ball, Huffman came up, made a great block while he was standing around watching the play. You always like to see your offensive linemen doing that when you're running downfield because they can throw a block that might spring you. And Lockett got up, stared them down a little bit, said the next time you come out, you know there were some cut words between the two of them, he will go after him every chance he gets.
Illegal motion, offense, number 89, still second down.
Ted Humphrey out of the Mid-America Conference, an attorney out of Youngstown, Ohio. The referee. Philadelphia jumping all over the Chicago Blitz at Philadelphia today. 21-0 in the first quarter. It's second down and 13 now for Arizona as the ball comes back inside their 48. And Greg Landry to throw it down the middle. He goes with it. Pass good to Tim Spencer. And Spencer is finally surrounded by the linebacking core of the Generals and brought down at the 43. They'll need about 3.5 to 4 yards to keep it.
Keith, Greg Landry is doing what an experienced quarterback usually tries to do at the beginning of a ball game. He's testing this defense, trying a variety of things to see how they are going to respond. They sent Tremaine Johnson long, Lenny Willis across the field. They've got Tim Spencer going in motion, trying to see how the linebackers are going to play it. Later on in the ball game, when they find the weaknesses, they're going to open them up and exploit them.
Need about 4 yards. Ricker, the tight end. Paul Ricker picks up the first down for Arizona as he is brought down by Bob Leopold, the right outside linebacker at the 36 of New Jersey. Landry last week set a conference record, 82% of his passes. Leopold has had one of his best seasons ever. Bobby, veteran coming out of Notre Dame, really had a great season.
Leads his team in interceptions with 3.
So the Wranglers are working on the Generals' 36. First down. Little quick pop goes to Lenny Willis, and Willis is dropped at the 29 by Mike Williams. And Williams was the man who had to make the quick play. Otherwise, Willis could have spun away and had a lot of room.
All they're trying to do, Keith, is take advantage of the fact that he lines up very deep giving the receivers a lot of cushion, room to run the short routes. If they complete more short routes on him, he's got to come up. Once he does that, then they'll try and go around him.
They have not gone down the field yet. It's been all nickel and dime stuff, but it's been effective. The Wranglers lead the Generals 6-0 here in the first quarter. That's Kevin Long bouncing to the outside, and he is short of the first down marker. Right now, Mike Barry with the defensive captain of Arizona, Stan White.
Keith, I'm down here with Stan, and you really held the Generals in their first possession. You really kind of demoralized them, I think. Is that a sign that you guys have that intensity back?
Well, I think we have the intensity, but I don't think anybody gets demoralized in 3 plays. You know, it's still a tough game. They blocked the extra point, which takes some of the edge off a touchdown. So we just have to continue to play the way. We've only had 3 plays, so the game's a long way from even you get any type of attitude of what it's going to be.
All right, back upstairs.
28-yard line that is called, and it's 2 yards to keep it. Third down and 2. Kevin Long, and Long will not get the first down. The linesman has marked him short of the first down. It was Bob Horn that made the initial contact and then got some help from Mike Williams to hang on to Kevin Long, who's a big fellow at 220.
Keith, they had all the linebackers coming up, looked more like an 8-man front that the Arizona Wranglers were facing it, as opposed to a 3-4 defense. And Long took the ball and tried to bounce it to the outside. Just had no room to go.
They're going. They're going. Now you got timeout call by the Arizona Wranglers. So the Arizona Wranglers, somebody with an equipment problem apparently, and so time is taken. So we'll see them going for the first down on 4th and 1. You can see the Arizona Wranglers are totally dominating this first quarter of play. There's 2 minutes to go. On 4th and 1 now, they had to fix the shoe of running back Kevin Long. That was the reason for the timeout. So 4th and 1 for Arizona. And it's Long who gets it, and Long's got the first down as he gets over the 25, picking up about 2 yards. Barbaro and Williams in the secondary bring him down. But the Wranglers will keep the ball.
Well, they went to the left side of their offensive line where they have Rob Taylor, Tom Thayer again, as opposed to trying to go straight up the middle where we saw LeClaire and Horn both trying to creep up there and time the snap count, try and catch whatever running back was going to get the ball in case he tried to go up over the air.
Well, that's part of George Allen's philosophy, though, is to run left-handed because it's against the basics. Most people tend to run right-handed. And George, by running left-handed and working at it so much, it's very effective. That's Tremaine Johnson now coming back in motion. That makes him available down the middle, but they go outside to Ricker, the tight end, and the ball goes right between his hands.
But he never had a chance to clamp his hands around that one. That one just zipped right through it. He mistimed it, had his arms out there for it. You won't see Paul Ricker miss many passes when he's, when they're about his hands, when he touches it. He's been very consistent for them.
Well, David Riley had a great week last week, a great game last week for Philadelphia, and he's involved again today as the Stars are rolling in the first quarter.
Wow. He's in a little better shape this week, too.
Yeah, to get his wind back. Second down and 10. They throw up the middle with Kevin Long carrying, and Long runs inside the 20 to the 18. They've got to go to the 15 and just over it to get the first down.
Keith, we saw that graphic earlier about the amount of time, possession. Arizona having it over 11 minutes. New Jersey possessing it just over 1 minute. Remember last week, it was the same type of situation. They had really possessed the football in the first quarter, and then Philadelphia came back to even it out in the second.
Inside a minute to go now in the first period. It's 3rd down and 3 for Arizona. They stay with the ground game. Long slides along the line and breaks loose and gets another first down. It looked for a moment as if Kevin would not find the hole, but he had the patience to keep on looking, and once he found it, stuck his helmet in there and got it. Now, again, for the element of domination in the first quarter with that time remaining, Arizona has had 25 offensive plays, and the Generals have had only 3.
Berkey on the other side, number 72, the right defensive end, is having himself quite a battle going over there against number 75, Rob Taylor, and 61, Tom Thayer. And it's not going to be an easy afternoon for them.
So they played a quarter at Giant Stadium, and the Arizona Wranglers leading by a score of 6-0 and trying to pile on some more. Kevin Long is out of the lineup right now for Arizona. Mac Bolton's in replacing him. Long shaken up on that last carry. It's a first down for the Wranglers from the 13. They give it to Spencer, and Spencer gets to the 10, where Tom Woodland, the nose tackle, wrestles him down.
Spencer carried. Tackle was by Tom Woodland.
We're told that there is no particular injury to Kevin Long, that he just ran out of breath because he was doing most of the heavy work.
Oh, we always used to say in Pittsburgh when I played ball that cold weather is an instant conditioner. You don't get tired as quickly, you get more oxygen in. It's the heat that takes it away from you. Maybe he just had a little air knocked out.
They shift Spencer over now as Landry sets his play. Double wide to the left on second down. Greg back to throw. Goes into the end zone with it, and the pass is incomplete. And Ricker is yelling for interference by Gary Barbaro, but there's an official standing right behind him, and his plea goes unheeded.
Keith, I think that was a perfect example of how your running game helps sets up the passing game and how your play-action passes are supposed to work. When Greg Landry faked that handoff, there were two players from the New Jersey team who were within 2 or 3 yards of him. They had to respect the run and the handoff. They couldn't come barreling in, giving him the time to fake the handoff, drop back, and get the ball and get the pass away.
Arizona now getting a mix-up here with the people that were sent in from the sidelines. Landry looked them over, didn't like what he had, so he calls timeout. Right now it is third down from the 10 and 7. Arizona controlling the football game. Landry back to throw. Goes down the middle, throws an interception. Throws it right into the arms of Kerry Justin. He had Willis breaking loose toward the corner, and unless somebody fell down, I have no rationale available to explain why he threw it there.
What he wanted to do was throw the ball to number 43, Mac Bolton. The two wide receivers are working a route to the outside. With number 50, Bob Horn, right there, takes on Boltner and knocks him off his route. When he does so, the ball was already thrown in anticipation of him making that break. Then number 23, Justin, picks the ball off. He was standing there, and it's an interception. Team defense.
8th time that Landry's been intercepted this season, and New Jersey takes over at its own 14. Side hands to Herschel Walker, and Walker gets out to about the 19. Jim Fonhorst, the middle linebacker, 55, the principal tackler. Nickel defense is in now for Arizona as Collins, Hackett, McConaughey, 3 wide receivers, are in for Brian Sykes, looking to choose one of them for the needed 7 yards. Pass is away to the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete off the hands of Clarence Collins. The man defending was Lance Shields, and Shields may have got a little piece of it.
Well, Lance Shields took the angle, tried to get his hand in front to knock the ball down. It was a low pass on the ground. Brian Sykes had some pressure as the Arizona Wranglers did blitz him on that last play.
Now, Grupp is going to be punting into the wind, which should give Arizona a pretty good field position if Eddie Brown can handle it. It's an end-over-end kick. It should take a New Jersey bounce, and it does, but not much. And it dies at the 49. So the Generals send the defensive unit back on the field. Arizona sitting at the New Jersey 49. There are 2 problems right now for the New Jersey Generals. One is they have given Arizona field position at the New Jersey 49. Arizona's been sitting on the football since the opening kickoff. The New Jersey offense has been ineffective so far. And the big man for the Wranglers offense has been Kevin Long. And Long's got almost 5 yards on that carry. Meantime, Herschel Walker now with Mike Berry.
Herschel, their defense is playing you tough. What do you have to do to turn it around and get back in the ballgame?
Well, I think one thing we're going to have to do is get the ball because Arizona have held the ball so long we really haven't had time to get the ball to get anything working. I think that's the most important thing because we see that there are some plays that we can run against them, but I think we need the ball to do
How's your
that.
shoulder?
Well, it feels good. It feels pretty good right now. Like there's no soreness in it, so I'm hoping I can play with no soreness today.
Up the middle goes Kevin Long, and close to a first down, defending on the mark. He is across the 40, and perhaps a half yard short of his first down. So they're just pounding New Jersey right now.
And Herschel is absolutely correct in what he said about getting the football back. Certainly when they get the football, they cannot afford to have another series where it's 3 downs and out. And I think a lot of the weight is going to have to fall on Brian Sipe's shoulder to call the plays, mix things up, and catch that defense a little bit off guard so that they can put together a drive for more than 3 plays.
When you look out here now and you see number 77 lined up at a tight end position, Todd Thomas, he is listed as a tight end today, the backup tight end, and he does have to report every time. Oh, look at Long explode over the left side, but look out, there's a penalty flag. Penalty flag is thrown right down into the trenches where the melee was going on. But Todd Thomas, number 77, is playing tight end today. And the penalty is going to go against Arizona.
Of course, you know, when he lines up as a tight end in short yardage situations, if he's on that, as he was in that last play, in the wing back position, that gives him a tremendous amount of blocking power. He was on that left side that time with Taylor and Thayer.
Holding. Offense, number 61. Third down.
So he ends up with 2 tackles and a guard blocking against 1 down lineman and a couple of linebackers. And it's no wonder that number 33, Kevin Long, picked up such big yardage on a third and short situation.
The Wranglers had their first down wiped out by the holding call. It is now 3rd and 8. Boatner, Dennison, Douglas in on the passing down. They're 6 out of 8 on 3rd down conversion so far today. It was Douglas out of Southern University that caught the pass for the only score of the game. The extra point was partially blocked and missed, and it's 6-0 Arizona. You've got 10 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the first half. It has been all Arizona. Sam Mills, the linebacker for Philadelphia, is having a big day as the Stars are rolling 31-0 over the Chicago Blitz. Landry on 3rd and 8. Throws it in the ground because Tom Woodland was about to bury Gregg in the ground. He did knock him down, but the pass goes incomplete, and now Arizona will have to punt. Frank Corral will have the wind at his back. Let me give you the rest of the officials for today's ball game. Ed Humphrey, we told you, out of the Mid-America Conference, is the referee. Marvin Durenberger out of the Southwest, the umpire. Hayden Terry, head linesman. He's out of the Southland Conference. Richard Sands, the line judge. Dick Eichhorst, the back judge out of the Big 8. Joe Richwine is the side judge, and Horton Nursta is the field judge. The punt is short, but it's going to be very effective by Frank Corral, as it is marked down at the 8 of New Jersey. Alan Clark came down and covered the ball. So it's a 30-yard punt. Not that dramatic. However, it is very effective. The Wranglers have had the football 15 minutes and 54 seconds in this first half. Now, they only have 6 points. That's a long time to fiddle around with a football and a very small number of points to have on the scoreboard. And here comes the Generals from the 8-yard line. Brian Sipe throws it from the goal line. Wide open. Jeff Speck, the tight end. And he's got a first down, and the Generals are out of the hole. Up across the 25. Speck shaken up.
A little hurt on that play. That is not good. He got hit right in his back, lower back, as towards the side as he caught that pass. Did not know where the defensive back was. If he should go down, that leaves them in awfully bad shape. The only other tight end they have would be number 87, Norris Brown, who is a real receiver. You see right here the hit he takes. That's rib country right there. That could be bruised. Number 32, Carl Allen, coming back to a starting position after being injured, is the man who made the hit.
Speck's tough. He gets up, walks away. He'll shake it off. That is the first down of the day for the Generals. The ball is marked out near the 27, where it's a first down for them. So they got a little room now. They trail by only 6-0. the top of the screen. That puts Minifield over on that side defensively for Arizona. And they hand the ball off to Herschel Walker. And he hits into the middle with some authority and gets it out to the 31, where John Lee and Joe Ehrman bring him down. And Speck comes back in now for the Generals. You've got 8 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first half. The Wranglers have marched up and down the field, but Ted Dietrich, the man who owns the ball club, concerned that they only have the 6. Sight back. Whistles one. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Tom McConaughey. Carl Allen defensively. Now here's Jim Lampley.
Keith, out in Pontiac, the Birmingham Stallions have come back to tie up the football game at the end of a long drive. Joe Cribbs took it in from 3 yards out. Cribbs 7 carries for 43 yards. It's tied at 7-7, but Michigan's Walter Broughton ran the kickoff back past midfield, so the Panthers are in business. Now to you, Keith.
I'll tell you one thing, there'll be some head knocking in the trenches in that ball game, Birmingham and Michigan. Two teams that'll get after you. Eddie Brown comes up, shows blitz, doesn't blitz, and Sipe throws in the short zone. Brown is the man there defending, and they're along with number 29, Ted Walton, and they're going to call Walton for hitting the man too soon. It was Speck, the tight end.
Teddy Walton, in his attempt to try and make that an incomplete pass, just comes over his back a little bit too soon, holding on with one arm. You see him, he's a good physical defensive back. He's a good athlete, but he just lets him get away, puts his arms around him, and they call him for that contact. Wasn't much contact.
Yeah, but that's the old mismatch circumstance now, because Speck is 6'3" and 240, and Ted Walton is 5'10", 200.
Which means you have to get very physical quickly.
Interference. Defense, number 29. First down.
And the ball moves out for the Generals to their own 46. And for the first time, they've got some green on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Sipe leading the league in quarterback ratings. Rush back to throw. Gets it off to the sidelines. McConaughey is over there, but Tommy is out of bounds. Carl Allen took him down, but the pass was overthrown and incomplete. Carl Allen can be very effective in that secondary at cornerback for Arizona. He's a little taller than some of the other people. Lupe Sanchez broke a bone in his hand last week in the ball game against Philadelphia and did not make the trip. Allen standing in at 6 feet, 175 pounds, but he's toughen up. Second down and 10. Sipe steps away from one, but can't get away from all of them, and it was Carl Lorch who penetrated first and then came back to bring him down.
Number 64, John Lee, who leads his team with 6 sacks. He's the man who rushes from his right end position upfield and forces Brian Sipe to go back up towards the middle. Now you see 71 Carl Lorch being pushed out. Now Sipe has to run back up the middle, back inside. Carl Lorch, who was blocked effectively by Millard, was now in position to make the sack.
That is the 30th sack by the Arizona Wrangler defensive unit. That's why they call the big guys up front the rush men. And the loss is back to the 43. Brian Sipe is in trouble again. So Kit Lathrop and Carl Lorch this time combined, and they get him. And they will force New Jersey to the punt, and probably will come out of here with pretty good field position.
2 plays in a row that they were sacked because of an effective rush by their front four. The best part of that defensive team is the rush and the defensive line play of their front four.
Old Pro Eddie Brown is back for the Wranglers. Single receiver. Rupp's first 2 punts today were 34 and 31 yards. Kicking into a win. There are 10 Wranglers on the front line. He gets it away with no pressure. Brown's going to have to let it drop, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 31. So it's a 35-yard punt by Grupp. Brown has no chance to return it. 7:22 to go. Donald Trump, chairman of the board of the New Jersey Generals, in effect the owner of the franchise, The patrons sitting under the umbrella, an occasional sprinkle of rain. We have not had very much rain. Arizona goes to work now from their own 31, leading 6-0, dominating the game, but not scoring much. Landry goes deep with it. It is Lenny Willis, and it is incomplete. And Kerry Justin, the left corner, had position and held it. Willis tried to run up his back and get the ball and couldn't do it. Now Mike Barry.
I'm down here with Carl Lort. You came into this game leading the league in sacks, and you picked right up where you left off. You're not having any trouble getting to him.
Well, actually, the other guys chased them to me, and I just kind of cleaned up on them. They're pretty lucky.
You're a 3-4 ball club, but you're not playing like it today.
No, well, we always thought we were a lot better than 3 and 4, and we're just trying to prove it.
Keith, you can tell there's more intensity down here now.
Okay, Michael. 2nd down and 10 as Landry tried to go deep, couldn't do it. Spencer coming to the outside, and Spencer is... Actually, it's Mike Williams who makes the play, coming up from the right corner, because he stepped up in there, and suddenly Spencer realized that he was pinned on the sidelines as he turned back Bob Horn.
Yeah, it almost got pinned back in the backfield. Number 53, Bob Leopold, the right outside linebacker, came charging in. Then number 33, Kevin Long, picked him up, took him down, created a nice little alley for Long to find Spencer on the inside so he could pick up some yards. That would have been a loss of yards for him.
He got 5, so it's 3rd down and 5 from the 36. Landry down the middle and misses Tim Spencer. Barbaro was in position to cover, but if the ball had been on target, Spencer was available. However, it was not on target, and now Landry has missed 6 in a row. So out comes Frank Corral to punt, and if the wind is to favor anyone, it will favor the teams moving from right to left today. That's Mike Williams back. The first kick was a 30-yarder, but it was downed inside the 10. Back on the 8. Corral gets it up, and it's a pretty fair punt this time. Williams got some help back there, but running laterally is not going to get much out of it. He is downed inside the 20, back near the 16. A 44-yard punt by Frank Corral. Possession, however, they did pick up a couple of first downs, running off 7 plays before they went to the punt.
Also a reverse look at the Arizona Wrangler defense and how well they're playing this afternoon.
Brian Sipe so far today is 1 out of 5 for 19 yards. That was to Speck, the tight end. Herschel Walker looking for something, and there just isn't anything available. Farnhorst and Smith and Brown all there.
Herschel looked like he wanted to get to the outside, but Farnhorst came up, Brown came up, and just pinned him in. Dave Trout, field goal kicker, leading scorer in 1983 for the USFL, adding some points in their route of Chicago.
Well, it was our feeling as we were talking last night, Swanee, that Arizona matched up against New Jersey pretty well.
Extremely well.
And it's proving true so far, but still only 6 points on the scoreboard. That's Walker, and there's still nothing.
That's a fumble.
And Arizona's got the football, it would appear.
The umpire is signaling that the whistle did blow before the ball was fumbled. That was an awfully quick whistle,
Yes,
Keith.
it was.
I had my binoculars trained right on that particular play. The ball did slip loose, but one of the officials had blown the whistle, without seeing the ball there, blown that whistle. The ball's out, but it makes no difference.
So the Generals keep possession of it at the 16. And it's 3rd down, better part of 11, a little over 10 yards to keep it. Right now, the total offense for the Generals, 17 yards. Arizona, 149. Sipe gets his pass off under pressure. The pass is complete upfield for a first down to Tom McConaughey. Sipe was within a fraction of a second of being decked behind the line of scrimmage. And Carl Allen up defending McConaughey slips and goes down. And he's very lucky that McConaughey didn't break that one real big.
McConaughey made the catch and didn't know where Allen was as he had turned his back to him. We saw him there stumbling just for a second. The receiver, he was actually probably waiting to get a hit, Keith, thinking that Carl Allen was right behind him. He made the catch. Allen was on the ground.
They've got a first down out at the 29. Carthen with a surge behind Mackey, Lapham, and Hall. Finally brought down by Stan White after he's picked up about 8 yards. Carthen had his first 100-yard game last week. 104 yards, in fact, as Walker sat it out.
That was also the first run by a ball player for New Jersey with any great physical authority coming to and through the line of scrimmage.
They mark him at the 35, so give him 7. Second down, 3. Carthen again, and now he's bellied up against Stan White, and White eventually wins the wrestling match, so it'll be third down and about 2.
With a little help from his friends. Stan White is playing outside linebacker, and he is calling all the plays for the defensive team. And it's somewhat unusual. In most cases, it's one of the 2 middle linebackers or the single middle linebacker in a 4-3 defense that makes the call. Don't forget to report, Gary!
Actually, the rain is not a factor. It has very light sprinkle a couple of times during the afternoon, but it's been no factor so far. That's Walker on third down going over the right side behind Harris and Millard, and it would appear that Herschel has the first down, and he does.
He picks up the first down. Took about 3 pops, real quick pops to his shoulders and to his chest, running kind of high as we see the scores still tied in Michigan, 7-7.
If the Generals hurry here with this snap, they can get one play off before we get the 2-minute warning. And they do. Sight looking for McConaughey, goes down the sideline. Good coverage over there. And the pass is incomplete. There's Carl Allen, and Carl had him all the way.
Carl Allen was in better position actually to make the catch. He's sitting on the ground. Might have been shaken up a little bit. He had a groin injury. That's what kept him out. You see McConaughey run straight at him. It's a takeoff or a streak and up, whatever you want to call it. He's just trying to outrun him. Allen on the inside, good position. You see he goes up, and McConaughey goes up, gets a hand in there, knocks it away. But more importantly, Carl Allen is now being helped off the football field.
Ball is on the 40. For the Generals, second down and 10. You've got Van Horst out of there now. Shields and Walton go in and get a nickel defense in for Arizona on second and 10. 1:55 to go first half. Sipe gives it to Walker.
Hello.
Herschel's close to a first down.
With a little speed in those legs. Herschel Walker took the handoff, and you heard him say at the opening of the game that his assets are his speed and just getting to the hole quickly. That time, he took the handoff, no hesitation, no move, ran straight ahead, straight down the field as fast as he could, and now they're very close to a first down.
About a half a yard on third down with Carl Allen back in now, and Shields comes out. Van Horst goes back in. One would expect to see Walker or Carthen carry here to get the first down. About a minute and a half to go in the first half. It is Carthen for the first down. Fumbles the football. They mark him down. They're going to mark him down, I think. Just inside the 48. That's exactly right. So the Generals keep the football, and the Wranglers squawk on it. Again, quick.
Maurice Coffin, the man you go to. He is the healthiest back they have. He takes it. He goes to his left side. He's hit, and the ball squirts loose. But the official said that he was down. Apparently, he got a knee down.
Sipe under pressure is sacked by Kit Lathrop. The big guy out of Arizona State. Played a couple of years at Denver and Green Bay, and he comes boring in. The third time they've been able to get Brian Sipe today, and they knock him all the way back to the New Jersey 40.
Keith, teams in order to avoid the defensive rush of the Arizona Wranglers have traditionally passed on first down, and as we saw 2 plays earlier, run the ball very often on third and long situations when you're looking for pass. The Arizona Wranglers now are coming with blitzes on first down, trying to catch those teams who pass.
A loss of the better part of 13 yards on that sack. Sipes passes away. Walker and Herschel turning back upfield makes the catch at the 36 of Arizona, and he's got a first down.
He had Jim Fonhorst, 55, number 52, Stan White, just standing around looking. Now watch. They're just standing around looking. Herschel just stops, comes back, and catches the football. A great adjustment by Herschel.
40 seconds to go in the first half. The Generals trying to go. They've got timeouts to work with. And sight back. Arizona leading by only 6-0. They throw the ball short. It goes to Carson. He runs over one would-be tackler and picks up another couple of yards and goes down at the 30. That's short of a first down. And they surely would have called time, and they have. 25 seconds to play in the first half.
As soon as Kaufman was hit in the field of play, Brian Sipe, number 17, was standing next to the umpire, signaling for a timeout, trying to save those precious seconds as the clock was ticking down.
Ruzek warming up on the sidelines, the Generals' place kicker, in case he gets the call. And now Birmingham has taken the lead over the Michigan Panthers as Cribbs has caught a pass from Cliff Stout. Joe Cribbs is warming up, isn't he?
When we saw Joe Cribbs in the first game against the Generals down in Birmingham, it was not a spectacular ball game by both teams. But Joe Cribbs, certainly, now with the court decision behind him, is playing great football.
That's what we have for you at halftime, including a feature on the Fusina family. All right, both coaches have had their conference now. Arizona defensively, New Jersey offensively. That one is still going on. 25 seconds to go. Second down and 5 for the Generals. The ball is just short of the Arizona 31. One of the things you've got to think that is going to be troublesome for Arizona, they have absolutely dominated the first half, but they have scored only 6 points.
One play here, a pass into the end zone to tie this ball game up, even though this offense of New Jersey has not played very well. That's the reason for not giving so much weight to all the statistics we keep seeing.
Hackett comes in as the fourth wide man. Back pass over the middle. Pass is complete and good for a first down to Clarence Collins. That stops the clock as they move the chains now with 16 seconds to play in the first half. And the Generals have called timeout, so they have one remaining. They'd like to get one more play at least in order to get Ruzek closer, because he would have to kick into that swirling wind. And I would think, well, you got a choice to make. You think you can get 2 plays out of it?
Well, I'm talking about 2 plays. I'm surprised that after calling the first time out and coming back and run this play, they didn't already call a second play in the huddle, because if you get the first down, last 2 minutes of the ball game, the clock stops while they move the chains. They could have had a second play and been running it right now.
Well, it'd be a 41, 42-yard field goal if you were to try it from here. They've only got 16 seconds to work with. If you take it to the end zone, that's going to use the better part of that.
Tom McConaughey is your clutch receiver, number 86.
Well, Collins is the man with the speed.
Speck is the man who's tight end, but Collins is the guy I think you have to go to in this situation.
Speck running for his life, gets a little room. He's got Collins. Goes to Speck instead, and Speck is out of bounds just past the marker. And they mark it at the 13. He's got a first down with 6 seconds remaining. 6, and here comes the place kicking unit. So they will go for 3 rather than gamble on a touchdown with only 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Gary Barbaro will hold. The last time out is called now by the Generals. You always assume that when the place kicker comes on, it's going to be a field goal. Well, it probably will be in this instance, as Gary Barbaro, a defensive back, does the holding. But here it was a case of John Lee. The General almost got his man there, but Sipe ducked under him.
Big defensive linemen, and you see their hands are always padded and taped up. He just couldn't grab Sipe. Sipe just ducked and rolled underneath him, much like a boxer when he's got a barrage will come underneath a punch. And you see Jeff Speck there making a great catch, keeping both feet in bounds and then getting his body out of bounds, picking up the first down.
This will be a 31-yard field goal try by Roger Ruzek. His first effort of the day. And he's 3 out of 5 between 30 and 40 yards so far this season.
More importantly, Keith, he played on the same Pop Warner football team I played on in San Bruno, California.
Who did?
Roger Ruzek. Played for the San Bruno Rams.
But not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Oh.
I'm just a little bit older than he is, unfortunately.
I thought you were fudging on the truth there, Ted.
He used to watch me when he was in grammar school. When I was playing for the Steelers, no less.
All right, Barbaro trying to put it down on the 21, 31-yard field goal as the Generals try to get on the scoreboard in the closing seconds of the first half. Good.
Of course, he came from a good program.
So Walt Michaels sees his team get on the scoreboard with 3 seconds remaining. Very minimal scoring in the first half. I'm a little surprised.
There have not been many times we have seen this year the offense of the New Jersey Generals play with any enthusiasm. And as you see the very somber face of Walt Michaels on the sideline, I can see why. Very often the team will reflect their coach, and he's a man that doesn't get excited about much. Low-key man, hands the ball off, likes to play conservative football.
They are 6-1.
They are 6-1, so you can't argue with his success.
Key man right there, of course, Brian Sipe. Though it is raining and kind of windy and kind of a murky, ugly day, really, it's not terribly uncomfortable. It's not very cold. The temperature is around 50, I would think, here inside the ballpark. Great deal of concern through some of the lower regions of New Jersey about more flooding. And they're expecting some heavy rain before the night is over. This one will skid along the ground and finally be picked up by Alan Clark. And Clark runs it back up to about the 25, and time has expired in the first half of play. So it is Arizona 6 and New Jersey 3 after the first half of play, with Arizona leading New Jersey by a score of 6-3. Philadelphia winning big today, and that one hooks out of bounds, so it costs Corral 5, and they'll come back and do it again. Philadelphia running away with the ball game over Chicago, bidding to take over sole possession unless New Jersey can get their act together here in the second half. It evened up considerably in the second quarter of play, the stats and time of possession.
I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that in the second half, Keith, Landry, the second quarter rather, was 0 for 6 with 1 interception after being 7 for 9, 67 yards and 1 touchdown. You see those 67 passing yards all in the first quarter.
The unflappable Walter Michaels.
Well, he better start flapping soon, get his offensive team going here. Put some wings on them. Put some wings on the arm of Brian Sipe. Get those receivers in the ball game because your running game is not working for them. We've seen some flashes of it in one drive that got them down in field goal position where Maurice Kaufman picked up some big yards. Herschel Walker showed some of his speed. You see the comparison of the two passes in this ball game.
Corral sails it down the middle this time, and it goes past Hackett and into the end zone. So it was a low-line drive kick that took one bounce on the wet rug and went right on into the end zone, and the Generals go to work first down at their own 20. Recapping what happened yesterday, Oklahoma defeated Washington. Denver won big over Pittsburgh. Los Angeles in overtime beating Memphis. Next week, one of the big ball games will involve Denver on the road against New Orleans. So the goal becoming quite a story in 1984. Now, New Jersey has been a second-half ball club all season. And on the first carry, it's Herschel Walker from the 20 to the 25 for 5. It figures now, the way things have gone, Lynn Swan, that we're going to have ourselves a low-scoring ball game. You can see there that the Generals have been dominant in the second half of play, and a goodly part of it has to do with that young offensive line. Very strong. This is Walker. Away from one, but can't evade the pursuers. And it's Ed Smith, outside linebacker, making the stop for Arizona.
Well, the defensive line made a good charge. Carl Lutz, number 71 on the outside, came upfield, trying to pursue them, trying to get him to turn inside. You see right there, he takes on Lapham, number 62. Then he continued to go upfield, stretch the play outside. Number 74 is Joe Ehrman. You see 56 Smith coming up from the outside to make the tackle. Good team defense. String it out. Wait for your help to come. Make the play. They lost yards on it.
2 of them, as a matter of fact. So that'll make it 3rd down and 7 from the 23. Is no good.
The ball was caught. The linesman came up by number 82 Collins. The linesman judge came up and said he juggled the ball, did not have control over it. And if you don't have control over it, going out of bounds, it's an incomplete pass. We'll take another look at number 82 Clarence Collins. It's a good pass. It's a great effort getting one hand on the ball, trying to gain control. You see him right there, but he just doesn't have control over it as the shoulders go out of bounds.
And so Gruff is in to punt with the wind at his back. Eddie Brown is the deep man. Kick is out. Good field position for Arizona as Brown takes it and then is thrown down around the 48. Now they'll put him on the 47 with John Miller coming downfield to make the tackle. It was Miller who deflected the extra point try by Corral to keep Arizona from having 7 on the scoreboard. That was only, however, a 29-yard punt.
And that was only the first punt return. That was actually field caught and attempted. The other one is first punt return that was caught and moved downfield. That was not fair caught or just let bounce by Eddie Brown.
We're told that Bobby Hebert is back in the ball game for the Michigan Panthers, having had to leave for a minor injury, but he is back in that big one at the Silverdome. So Arizona with good field position, 47-yard line. Tim Spencer cuts it over the left side and goes to the Generals' 49. And he picked up about 4 there, so it'll be 2nd down and 6 as we get underway here in the second quarter. Pretty much a tango offense so far for the Generals today.
Yes, it is. The offense, both offensive teams intend to continue with their strategy of trying to run the football, establishing a running game. Well, of course, Arizona having more success spreading it out, putting the ball in the air.
But not getting any points on the board. I keep saying that because the game is certainly still up for grabs. This Kevin Long goes over the left side. Only a 6-3 ball game. And they're now looking at 3rd down and about 2.5. Arizona really needing this one because Denver is 7-1 in the Pacific Division. Double wide, bottom of the picture. On 3rd down, short 3. Landry to throw for it. Down the middle goes Willis. And they go short to the running back Long out of the backfield, and Kevin gets the 1st down. He had Lenny Willis down the middle, but then LeClaire dropped off and took him away. And then having Long out as the safety valve on the play, Landry spotted him and got enough out of the play for the 1st down.
We have not mentioned the name of Tremaine Johnson very much this afternoon.
He hasn't seen the ball.
That's right. He's caught 1 pass for 10 yards, and that's it.
Ball is just short of the 36 of New Jersey. Landry steps out, whips one quickly. Oh boy, he's lucky to get that one back. Mike Williams couldn't quite get there. It was just a matter of a couple of inches, or Mike could have had that one. And if he catches it, he's just simply got to run about 70 yards, and he's got 6 points.
Got there quick enough to get one hand on it, but that was it.
That's a yard to the 35. Now in comes the third down passing unit of Dennison, Boatner, and Douglas. That means Long, Ricker, and Spencer come out.
Last year when this team from Arizona was known as the Chicago Blitz, in the first game, Tremaine Johnson caught about 7 or 8 passes for good yardage and a touchdown. Second time around, he caught very few, but all the other receivers had big days, just like they're having today. That means they're double covering Tremaine, giving him more attention.
Third down and call it 8 inside the 35. Landry's pass is complete to Boatner. Boatner trying to get to the marker and does not. He got it inside the 29. He needed to get inside the 27. They put him at the 28, so he is about a half a yard short, maybe a little more than that. The marker across the way shows inside the 27, so they'll need at least a yard.
George Allen yelling out instructions to Greg Landry. Last week against Philadelphia, in the first drive of the field, a fourth down situation, they went for it. With a timeout here now, Greg Landry will come to the sideline, discuss with George Allen, and we'll see if they will go for this.
On 4th and a yard and a half, they're going to go. They load them up. They got both the tight ends in there, Ricker and Thomas. You got to figure Kevin Long right here. Nope, they go to Spencer, and he slants it and gets the first down. They loaded up for Long over the left side, his favorite spot, and instead gave it to Spencer, and Spencer ran a slant and got the first down, and the Generals were arguing that one of the interior linemen had moved.
2 of the interior linemen moved. Number 75, Rob Taylor, left tackle, and I think number 61, Tom Thayer, both of them moved just a little bit, getting ready, looking like they're going to pull just before the ball was snapped. You see right there, number 75, Rob Taylor, just got a little bit of a head start, rocking back in the stance.
They got away with it, and the Wranglers are now 2 for 2 on 4th down. They have it first down. Ball is at the 23 of New Jersey. Landry has good time, goes down the middle. It is picked off in the end zone by number 26, Gary Barbaro. Barbaro runs it all the way back to the 32.
Gary Barbaro, All-Pro with the Kansas City Chiefs for several years, makes his first interception of the year. People have been expecting more from Gary Barbaro. They think he should be picking off lots of passes. He plays free safety. He's back deep quite often, covering a lot of ground. This time he gets a deflected pass deep in the end zone, brings it out, and brings it out 5 yards, brings it out to the 32-yard line.
That was a wounded goose that Landry threw, though. It didn't have anything on it, just kind of floated away from the intended receiver, Douglas. Of a week ago now. We're going to come up again. Turned it over 5 times in the second half last week. It's a 6-3 Arizona lead. This is the best starting field position the Generals have had in a possession. They've been averaging starting back around their 17. It goes to Walker. Walker comes up the middle to the 40. They'll give him 7 yards on the carry. We'll get a little scuffling down amongst the big boys. Kent Hall and Jimmy Farnhorst. Yeah.
Kent Hall, the center, coming up trying to protect Herschel a little bit. Herschel popped through that line. You see them again tackling Herschel high, trying to hit him on the shoulder because they know they've been injured before. And Hall comes up. Oh. Also mad at Stan White for grabbing that face mask. Excuse me.
Second down, 2.5. Into the middle, Carthen. And Maurice Carthen is brought down by Stan White, but looks like he'll get a mark good for a first down. Here's Mike Berry.
Marched it right down the field with no trouble. Since then, your offense has been stymied. What's the matter?
Well, they're tightening their defense up a little bit, and Greg is just maybe underthrew a couple receivers, and we just had a few problems there. But basically, we're just sticking with our same game plan, and we just haven't been getting the break that we've been looking for.
All right, Kevin, back upstairs.
From the 43, first down as Collins goes in motion for the Generals, and Sipe gives it to Walker, and Walker is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Farnhorst was the first man to get there. And then he got some help from Lorch.
Well, that's one of the favorite plays of the New Jersey Generals. They give the ball to Herschel Walker. He starts towards the outside of his offensive line like it's going to be a sweep. Then he stops in his tracks, cuts back to the inside. That time, the Arizona Wranglers were looking for it. Oh, and Philadelphia, 41-zip over the Chicago Blitz. And the Chicago Blitz aren't a bad offensive football team. I'm surprised to see them getting shut out.
Second down, 12. Right back. Down the middle for the tight end. Speck fumbles the football. Arizona dives on it. The Generals get it back. Speck stayed after it and came away with the football. He may have a little trouble getting up. He had the ball. He fumbled it and then went after it and got it back.
That was either number 86, Tom McConaughey, or Clarence Collins, number 82, that made the recovery. Brian Sipe doing what he's always done extremely well, finding his tight ends downfield. This time Speck catches a pass. He has control over it. When he fumbles, that's Minifield, number 1, who has a chance to jump on it, and number 86, Tom McConaughey.
It's McConaughey that got it, yeah.
Came over, heads up play by the wide receiver, recovering the fumble. First down for the New Jersey Generals at the 30-yard line.
Make it to 29 as they give it to Walker. And Walker over the right side. And he picks up a tough 6 on the carry, upended by Ed Smith.
That's the first time, Keith, I have ever seen Herschel go up in the air trying to hurdle a tackler in the 2 years I've watched him play here in the USFL. See, Smith goes down there, and he just tries to leap over him, comes down on that shoulder. But Herschel Walker is still in the huddle.
They've marked him for a 4-yard pickup. Second down and 6 as the ball is placed at the 25. Carthen falls ahead maybe a yard. Lathrop, number 70, is the man that locked him with help from Von Horst. And you've got 5:20 to go in the third quarter. Arizona leading 6-3. Speck shaken on the previous play, comes back now, and Norris Brown goes out. Carthen goes out. The Generals looking at third and still about 6.
The youthful offensive line of the New Jersey Generals so far in this third quarter has been getting the best of the Arizona Wrangler defensive front four.
Collins and Hackett wide to the left. Sipe on a drop under pressure. Lee gets a hold of him, forcing an incomplete forward pass. John Lee storming in from the right side.
I spoke too soon again. Number 64, John Lee, man who leads his team in sacks, the right end, just stepped inside, almost as if he was untouched, but Brian Sipe makes a heads-up play to get the ball away before the play is blown dead.
It'll be a 42-yard field goal try now for Roger Ruzek in an effort to tie the score at 4:46 to play in the third quarter. Barbaro counts to make sure he's got 9 people in front of him. Looks to Ruzek. Roger says, okay. The snap. The kick is away. There's plenty of leg. It's no good. It's wide right. So the Generals are turned away. Despite that fortuitous recovery of a loose football upfield, they're unable to score. The Arizona Wranglers will start at the 24-yard line. 4:35 to play in the third period. Denver has already won in this 8th week to go 7-1 and lead that division, the Pacific Division. Hand off to Tim Spencer. And Spencer for the better part of 3 yards, maybe. Here's Alan Risher, a young man out of LSU who played quarterback last year for the Arizona Wrangler franchise that is now in Chicago, guaranteed by the league and being operated by the league. First, Ted Dietrich took his Chicago Blitz franchise in the main out to Phoenix to play in the Tempe or Sun Devil Stadium on the campus of Arizona State University. Lenny Willis coming in motion, and they stay with the ground game. Not much for Kevin Long. He is short of the 30. as they gang tackle him. Bob Leopold, the principal man for the Generals. And so they'll be looking at third down and what? At a good 5.5.
Good 5.5, 5 yards, long 5 yards. Alan Risher played extremely well for the Arizona Wranglers last year. It's kind of disheartening, I'm sure, for him to be sitting on the sidelines watching this, but I'm sure he feels he can learn a lot from Greg Landry. And
he will play somewhere eventually.
Eventually.
They're trying to run a draw with Boatner and nothing doing. Oh, number 74 looks like Jim Byrne out of Wisconsin Lacrosse, a big rookie at 270 pounds, never gave him a chance.
Well, we see a little bit of the old conservative offensive teams we've seen in the past. In the second half, that have been coached by George Allen. 3 running plays in a row. They don't pick up a first down, and they do not have this game won by any means. Only a 3-point lead.
Corral to punt, and he's hitting into the wind, so Mike Williams, if he can get to it and handle it all right, should give New Jersey pretty good field position. I don't believe 6 points is going to win this game. Whoa, Barbaro almost got there in time. It takes an Arizona bounce. Williams has to field it, and it's going to be thrown down inside the 30, back around the 28. Brought down by Alan Clark.
We told you about the contract Michigan fullback Ken Lacey signed to jump to the Kansas City Chiefs. In the first half today against Birmingham, he carried the ball 7 times for 18 yards and was booed every time he touched the ball by the large crowd in the Silverdome. Now in the third quarter, he's standing on the sideline next to injured Anthony Carter, apparently not playing, no report of an injury, and Ken Lacey is simply watching as Michigan drives with the ball. Now back to Keith Jackson in the Meadowlands.
Back here at Giant Stadium with 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Up come the Generals now on first down at their own 28, trailing by just 6-3, and Sipe will put it in the air on first down. He's got his man good on the sidelines to Carthen coming out of the backfield, and Maurice is short of his first down, but he's got a good 8.5 yards.
Well, now they're starting to get Maurice Carthen out in the backfield. You see number 56, Smith. He's going to try and pick him up, cover him from that position. Already Carthen's gotten to his outside, and he's running away from him. That's poor position by the linebacker. Now he gets some help. Eddie Brown has to come up and make the tackle. It's a zone coverage, and Carthen able to get to the outside on it.
Second down, short 2. They go to Carthen to get the first down. I don't think the marks are good enough there. Kit Lathrop stood him up and stopped him. So I think they'll be looking at third and short.
That first down passing play is something we're going to have to see a good deal more of by the New Jersey Generals if they hope to keep this Arizona team off balance and get down the field quickly. They are not the kind of offensive football team, Keith, that can take the football and score very quickly in the ball game. They'll have trouble coming back from behind.
Herschel shot the first down. Ball is marked just over the 40. Crowd of 31,917 on a cool, wet day. My understanding they had something like 38,000 sold. And with local television, they got a bunch of no-shows. 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. On first down, Sipe, back to throw again. Wants to go deep and does. Down the middle for Speck, and he drops it. The tight end, Speck, was wide open and had it right in his hand.
Keith, there are a lot of things that can get you upset in the ball game. Receivers dropping passes on you, people missing blocks, but nothing more upsetting than for a quarterback to throw a pass and have to take a big hit. Sipe was hit by number 74, Joe Herman, laid on his back, and his tight end drops the ball, doesn't make the catch, and he took all the punishment. That gets a little frustrating from time to time.
Speck was 3 for 52 yards prior to that drop. There's the hit laid on Brian Sipe. So it's 2nd and 10 from the 41. Out to Walker. Herschel picking his way through there. And turns upfield to the 46. And it'll be 3rd down at about 5. 3rd quarter is over. Ball game still very much in balance. 6-3 Arizona lead, and we'll continue after this. The Generals now from the 46 with a 3rd down and 4.5. Walker 14 for 39 yards on the day. Beck goes in motion. Sam Bowers injured, did not suit up. Brian Sipes pass intended for Speck, and a diving, McConaughey, and a diving defensive play by number 27, Luther Bradley. It's kicking time for the Generals in a 6-3 ball game as we play now the 4th quarter. Gruff on 4 punts today, not particularly effective, well under his average. He's kicked 34, 31, 35, and 29. This is into the wind. A little better kick. Got some spin on it, but it won't turn over. And a fair catch by Eddie Brown back at the 20-yard line. A 34-yard punt, good hang time, and no.
Well, as we take a look at it, we see that everything's starting to even out except for the turnover column. Arizona has 2, and when Landry threw those 2 interceptions, Keith, both times he took the Arizona offensive team out of scoring position. So those 2 turnovers count for at least 6 points, not on the Arizona column.
6-3 ball game. Landry on 1st down from the 21 throws and hits Kevin Long. And Long is thrown out of bounds just over the 25. The attendance today, as we told you earlier, 31,917. I'm told that the attendance at Yankee Stadium on this wet afternoon is 20,244. Second down, about 5 from just over the 25. As Lenny Willis, who has not seen much of the ball today, Landry shakes off Leopold and dives for the marker, and he's close to it. Don't think he's got it, though. He doesn't. Nope, he does not have it.
Well, you got a bootleg guy here. He's got Lenny Willis going in motion. He has number 2, Tremaine Johnson, at the bottom. You see Leopold just missed him. Number 72, Lynn Matson. You see him coming to the screen, and watch Lenny Willis just come take him out, so he can't really stick one on the quarterback. Number 23, cornerback, Terry Justin came up to make the tackle. 3.5 yards.
They've been very successful on 3rd down today, converting 5 out of 7. And they've got this one.
6, 7, 8.
That was Kevin Long carrying on the play. Those are the 2 games scheduled for next week. Denver, New Orleans will be a good football game. New Orleans got a tough one this week with Tampa Bay coming in tomorrow night.
Well, if we're in Pittsburgh, I'll have a barbecue. Which game would you like to do, Keith?
New Orleans.
My cooking's not that bad.
Landry back, whips one. Johnson's got it. Can't hold on. Incomplete forward pass. Mike Williams stuck him and knocked it loose.
He said that pass would be open for him. The pass was open earlier. Lenny Willis had a chance to catch one for a touchdown. He dropped it. This time, Tremaine has a chance to get one. It's in his hands. But number 29, Mike Williams, comes up, makes his presence felt, just knocked it right away from him, and it should have been caught, Keith.
Easy to say up here.
I was down there once upon a time, too.
Yes, you were.
They hit you anyway, so you might as well catch it.
Short to Spencer, and he's short of the 1st down. Horn and company, Horn and Leclerc, the inside linebackers, making the stop. And at 12:55 to play in the football game, Arizona still clinging to a 6-3 lead. They're throwing passes, but they're close to the best stuff.
Well, the defense of New Jersey gives you, by their play, by their alignment, their zone defense, a lot of stuff underneath. Most teams don't have the patience to take advantage of it. Greg Landry, however, does have that kind of patience. He's only tried to go deep once in this ballgame.
It's 3rd down and 3. Oh my goodness, that one got away from him. I mean, he had his choice of 2 people down the middle, and he sort of dumped it in between them. He had Kevin Long, he had Paul Ricker, and he didn't hit either one of them. The ball just kind of fell out of his hand.
Kind of drifted in there. It almost looked like it was tipped a little bit, Keith, and bounced over the linebacker.
Might have been. Corral gets a high snap, gets pressure. He's running for the marker. He's there. Frank Corral goes for a 1st down.
And Frank Corral made sure he got the 1st down and didn't try and get much more, Keith.
No.
He didn't want to get hit. Because he took a chance. He was running close to the sideline, on the sideline of the New Jersey Generals.
And Frank takes off, and he sees it up green over there and sees where the marker is, and sure enough, he's got the... If he hadn't lost weight, he might not have made it.
Well, if he hadn't lost weight, for sure he wouldn't have made it. But the UCLA grad made it just in time.
44-yard line now for the Wranglers, leading 6-3 here in the final quarter. With 12:16 to play, Landry back to throw. Pumps once, steps away from pressure, throws it short to Kevin Long, and Kevin runs in away from 2 defenders and turns it into a big play.
Hello, Walt Michaels, from your old running back, Kevin Long. That was just bad tackling on the part of the New Jersey Generals. They had more than enough opportunities. As you look at number 29, Mike Williams, getting up slowly. He was hurt on the play. More than enough opportunities to make the tackle. Landry is trying to set up a hooking throw to Tremaine Johnson. They don't go for it. He's covered. He drifts out and finds number 33, Kevin Long.
Look at this, though. Well, he got a pretty good block there from Ricker to help him on his way, didn't he?
But still, he should have had, he could have been tackled there. He's finally brought down inside the 20-yard line on the 17.
Looks like ankle trouble for Mike Williams. That was a 41-yard play for Kevin Long, hooking up with Greg Landry. And the football is sitting at the 16 of New Jersey.
It goes without saying that those people who are secondary receivers always keep their eyes open, but it was started here. A high snap, a mistake, gave Arizona the Wranglers a big break in this ball game. So Frank Corral takes a high snap. He has just enough speed and just enough room to pick up the 1st down. So from one mistake comes a big play and a scoring threat.
Bounces outside as the penalty flag comes in from the linesman.
I think we may get a holding call on number 86, Paul Ricker. He was one of the people out in front.
You're right on the hold. It's just now a matter of who it was. Next week, the Arizona Wranglers will be at Houston. And I'll guarantee you that isn't easy either.
No, it won't be easy, especially with Houston not having played a good game this weekend. Trying to get their
holding offense, number 86.
Got him.
Still 1st down.
Of course, that tight end is sort of in quicksand out there, isn't he? He's got a heck of a chore to handle that either linebacker or tackle.
It was a sweep, and they were just stretching it out to the outside. He didn't want to lose his man. He had to hold him to stop him from making an early tackle.
So that backs him up to the 26, where it's 1st and 20, and Landry goes quickly to Willis, and Willis keeps shaking off people and has a 1st down. He's got a 1st down at the 5. 1st and goal. Willie Harper finally brought him down. Want to hear from a punter who has great speed of foot? Here he is with Mike Barry, Frank Corral.
If this man was not a professional football player, he may have an eye toward the Olympics. That was some run for the 1st down, Frank.
Well, thank you. You know, it's just anything we can do. And at that time, all I was thinking was getting the 1st down. And, you know, I saw it, and we got it. We had good blocking, and, you know, I'm thankful.
The way this drive is going, you may be back in the ball game soon, Keith.
1st First and goal from the 5. Oh, Landry, he may be checking off right here. As he takes the long count, he is walloped just as he hands the ball off to Kevin Long. Jim LeClaire blitzing took Landry down, but Landry was able to clear the ball along, and Long goes to the 2.
Keith, I can recall a game against the Cleveland Browns that we played, the Pittsburgh Steelers played. Cleveland always blitzed. The inside backer was coming up all the time, but instead of throwing passes, we did what Arizona did. We ran a quick trap right up the middle into that vacated area. Franco Harris ran for over 50 yards in one play for a touchdown, and Rocky Blyer ran for over 60 yards for a touchdown, and he's not the fastest guy in the world.
Nah.
Time he worked.
Rock was a blazer.
Again.
Second and goal from the 2. It's Long, bouncing off 1, 2, and then into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. So Frank Corral sprint for a first down, and then a big play as Landry hooks up with a Long, and the Wranglers stick at the end zone for the second time today to lead 12-3. Now this extra point will be very important.
We'll see. Kevin Long is playing a great ball game today. He's hit there, he bounces off, gets to the outside, gets hit again, just keeps driving until he finds his way into the end zone. He is not giving up. He has rushed 18 times for 83 yards and caught 3 passes for 55. He's contributed 137 yards in offense to his team this afternoon.
Corral in for the extra point try out of Risher's hole. He kicks it, and it's good. So you've got 9 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the ball game, and Arizona now leads by 10, 13-3. Mac Boatner was shaken up. There are the numbers on the Arizona scoring drive, but again, it was a broken play or a mistake almost that was turned into a big play and then followed by a 41-yard pass run, and then they punched it in. That is Rod Pegues out of Oklahoma, turning it upfield to about the 20. Now, the New Jersey Generals. They got to put it up.
So much is said about the Birmingham running game and Joe Cribbs that you sometimes forget Jim Smith is one of the finest wide receivers in the league. But now in the third period in Michigan, this 17-yard touchdown pass from Stout to Jim Smith has lengthened Birmingham's lead over the Panthers to 21-10. Back to Keith Jackson in the Meadowlands.
Yes, sir. Birmingham is for real.
Oh, they're just staying up there. That team is a little tough to handle.
All right, Lynn Swan, here you are now. Your offense hasn't done a whole lot all day long. Clarence Collins, who's your speed man, has been quiet. He's been shut down. McConaughey is the sure-handed fellow, but he's been handled as well. Speck has been the big catcher so far. And they go to Herschel Walker on the run. They get some blocking for Herschel that time, and he just flat ran over Frank Minifield. I mean, he dumped old Frank on his head.
Oh, poor Frank, number 1.
Yeah, but Frank's 5'9", 180. Herschel is 6'1", 225.
Well, he better start going a little bit lower for those tackles, try and trip him up. If there was something wrong with Herschel's shoulders, he certainly didn't show it that time. Frank Minifield bounced off him like a rubber ball on the cement floor.
And it's out to the 32 for 12 yards and a first down. And here he goes again. He's caught slowed down behind the line of scrimmage, but gets around the corner anyway. You've got a penalty flag thrown on the field. Here's Kevin Long now with Mike Berry.
The man that scored the touchdown, you really got the ball back, and you were the workhorse on that drive.
Well, you know, we felt like it was the fourth quarter. We're in a must-win situation because we were trailing Denver. So, you know, we're just playing hard-nosed football. We got to win this game.
You guys were 3 and 4 coming in, but you're not looking like that. Let's go back upstairs.
First penalty of the day against New Jersey. Comes at a bad time for them.
Holding. Offense, number 58. Still first down.
Center.
Getting home.
Yeah, that center is another guy that's working in difficult circumstances, too. It's snapping the ball is the easy part. First and 20. Fight gets it away just before Lorch gets there, and the pass misses Herschel Walker as Eddie Brown takes a shot at it and can't get to the ball.
Lorch came in right underneath Brian Sipes' arm, forcing him to keep that arm higher releasing the ball sooner. Gave it a little more loft, went right over Herschel Walker's head. Eddie Brown, number 25, had a better play on it. He attempted to come in and get it, but just thrown beyond him. See the ball right there sailing over Herschel.
13-3, Arizona leading with 8:43 to play in the ball game, and Sipe to throw it again. He's got all day this time and goes down the middle with it, and Hackett can't pull it down. Marcus went for it, got a hand on it, but the rookie out of Syracuse couldn't get a handle. Now Sipe is 8 out of 19 for 108 yards.
Well, Brian Sipe, of course, did come into this game as the #1 rated passer with a 98.5 efficiency rate, completing 62.5% of his passes. But Brian Sipe has that rating on 104 attempts, the least number of attempts out of all the top-rated passers.
They go to trips on the right side as Sipe's pass is away down the middle, and it is caught by Collins. And Collins is down at the 46, and he's got a first down. And it was a diving defensive effort by Luther Bradley that was one of those almost plays.
Almost plays, could have been an interception for him. But what I was impressed on that play about Keith was that Clarence Collins, knowing people were there, came back to the football and made the catch. We've seen a couple of receivers this afternoon drop passes in traffic, not hang on the footballs after they were hit. This time, Clarence Collins, for his second reception of the day, hangs on to a critical third down pass for big yards.
He's been quiet. McConaughey to the bottom, Collins and Hackett to the top of the picture. Speck in motion, Sipe stays in the air with it. Goes short to Speck. Speck's out of bounds at the Arizona 46. He's 2 yards short of a first down.
Ed Smith was being nice to him that time, Keith. Had him on the sideline, just decided to push him out of bounds instead of laying a big hit on him.
Speck, a good day. 4 for 60 yards.
He's dropped a couple. It could be even bigger.
Walker is out. Carthen is in now. A change for the Generals. They trail by 10 with 7:42 to play in the game. They're moving it through the air now. Trying to get back close. It's Carthen. And Carthen has the first down as he carries inside the 43 of Arizona.
I think that time, number 55, Jim Farnhurst, made the tackle. That time, Brian Sipe probably expected to get more of a pass rush upfield. So he came back with a quick hitting play right through the center of the line. They didn't try to run any games on him. They were waiting for him, but he still picks up the first down.
Walker's back in. On first down, the throw. Throws it, and Herschel catches it. That's a pretty good catch, because he had a lot of competition from Stan White for the ball.
Stan White, playing his outside linebacker position, was just behind Herschel, Keith, looking at him, anticipating the pass, and he started taking little baby steps, trying to time it as the ball was thrown. But Brian Sipe put enough on that pass where it just zipped in there cleanly, and Herschel was able to catch it.
Second down, about 5. Walker picking his way through there, and they get him short of the first down. He crosses the 35 to the 34, but he had to get inside the 33. Lathrop and Farnhurst are the tacklers. Now here comes Brown, here comes Carthen. They're getting the big boys in and send the wide receivers out on what is sure to be a running play, one would think, on third down and about 2. Arizona defense digging in. They're going to try to sell out on the play and stop him, but they can't do it. He runs over the right side behind Harris and Millard. Carthen carries, and it would appear from the spot that he's got his first down.
Has big number 62, David Lapham, also just crashing down from his position. He gets behind the good blocking. What the blocking did up front was they uprooted those people, didn't let them bury themselves in the line of scrimmage and create a pileup.
I would I couldn't quite define it, but I would swear one of the Arizona Wranglers stepped on the foot of the linesman after he had marked it. He was trying to move it back. He's short.
Shouldn't have stepped on his foot. Well, I think there's no doubt in the minds of the coach or the players or the fans or us that Walt Michaels will go for it here. He doesn't have a whole lot of choice.
It looks to be about maybe 6 inches. Well, in these games of macho football, if you can't make 6 inches, you ought not to win.
Well, in this game of macho football, we can depend on number 33 to get the ball for New Jersey, and let's see if he can take a few macho hits.
He's a tough one. Weighs 230 pounds, Carton. We'll see.
I throw a pass here. Isn't it a crazy play? But I tried anyway.
You missed. You might be on your way to another kind. Oh, they've jumped offside. The right side of the New Jersey line. In fact, there might have been 2 or 3 of them moved too soon, and they're going to flag them and back them up. Eddie Brown's up there arguing. I don't know, maybe they're fearful that they're going to be calling Arizona for encroaching, but it looked to me like the Generals were the ones moving, and that's the way it was.
Well, that could prove to be a very costly play.
Well, you've got 5:29 to play in the ball game. You're down by 10 points. You're looking at 4th down and about 5.
Illegal motion. Offense number 62.
That's only the second penalty now that's been flagged against the Generals. And the other one didn't really hurt him. They got off the hook on that one. You see the movement on the right side there.
4th down and 6. A biggie.
Is on. Sipes is slowed down. He's running for the first down, and he is short of the first down as he is brought down by Kit Lathrop. And so Arizona will get the football with 5 minutes and 21 seconds to play in a ball game, and they take it at, well, in very good field position, actually. They're going to mark it at about, what, the 41? It'll be Arizona's ball. First down from the 41. Arizona now is going to try to sit on the football. You've got to know here, the Generals' defensive people have got to do some gambling. They can't sit back there any longer. They've got to go after the ball. They trail by 10, and Kevin Long runs it, pops it through the line of scrimmage, and picks up about 6, close to 7 yards on the carry. Looking down the schedule for the Arizona Wranglers, they play at Houston next week, or next game. Then they have San Antonio at home. Then they have to go to New Orleans. They have to go to Oakland. They play Denver at home. They have to go to Los Angeles and to Birmingham, and then to Chicago. And they finish off with Los Angeles. And you know L.A. is just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher.
That's a team I hate to play twice at the end of the year. They should improve greatly.
2nd down and 3. Long sweeping it. Winding the clock, gets the first down, fumbles the football, bounces right back in his hands, and it's a first down Arizona at the New Jersey 41. Kit Lathrop has been a big man defensively today for Arizona. Here he is with Mike Berry.
Kit Lathrop, you've been the hero in the trenches today. You just stopped Brian Sipe on that 4th down play. You prevented the first down. Tell me about it.
Well, we're just trying to dominate the line of scrimmage, and they're coming off, and they got some big horses in there. Everybody up front's playing really well, and they're staying low in there.
You came in 3 and 4. Your attitude is you really want to win this game.
We've got to win it. It's important to our season. We're not out of it by any means, and we've got to have this one to get us back on the right track.
Back upstairs.
Kevin Long now, 21 carries, 100 yards. Quick pop play over to Johnson. Johnson jukes one way, then the other. You don't think he isn't pretty good? That's a first down.
He took about 3 seconds to make those 2 moves. Still wasn't hit because of the big cushion that they gave him on that particular play. You see the Birmingham Stallions, 28-10. Ooh. Stout's throwing for touchdowns, and he's running for touchdowns.
Let's go, Big O! Let's go now!
That's the fourth time today that Tremaine Johnson has seen the ball. He's caught 2 for 22 yards. Ball is sitting on the New Jersey 28. First down for the Wranglers. They've got Spencer out of the wide receiver spot, but they keep it inside. Look at Kevin Long. Boy, he's having one of his best days ever.
He went to the John Riggins School of Running Backs. Play for a couple years from one ball club, get a little age, and people think you can't play anymore. Then just keep playing your best football.
Well, the blitz finally got on the scoreboard, but it's been all Philadelphia in that one. Second down and 3, Arizona. Well, there's not a whole lot of mystery about what George is going to have his offensive people do until New Jersey takes it away from him. And he'll just run Kevin Long all day long until they stop it.
Well, they haven't stopped him yet, and as long as he's continued to have that success, he will just continue to use up the clock. There's only 2:43 left to play in the ball game. The Arizona blitz, Keith, according to our infallible statistician here, has never lost a game when Long or Spencer has rushed for 100 yards. Well, does Long have 100 yards yet?
Yep.
He has 110 yards.
And he has a first down right there at the 18.
CBI!
First down for Arizona, 18-yard line of New Jersey. 2:26 to play in the football game. 10-point lead for the Wranglers. Spencer looking for a little daylight. Gets down to about the 16. Got a little finger shaking at each other out there on the field now. The general's getting a little frustrated. And we're coming up now to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the football game as we take a timeout. And the Arizona Wranglers clearly in command of the circumstance right. Second down, call it 8. From about the 16. It's Kevin Long. And he just pounds his way on down inside the 10. Number 32, Ken Johnson, the rookie out of Mississippi State, had him, but couldn't hold him. And they finally get him on the 9.
Number 2, Tremaine Johnson, and Tim Spencer, he had them outside blocking for him. Really could have cut that run up field a lot sooner, but chose not to. Wanted to string it out, use up as much of the clock as possible. Coming into the ball game, Keith, Greg Landry needed 192 yards to go for 20,000. Right now he has 171 with 1:38 to play.
Here on ABC next Sunday, New Jersey at Pittsburgh, Denver at New Orleans. Denver now 7-1 on the season. Lynn Swan asked me a while ago which place I'd rather go. Is barbecue or New Orleans? Now I ask you.
A little bit better game.
Yes. I was listening to our producer. He was reminding me that Greg Landry, if he gets 20,000 yards, is not a record, but just a milestone in professional sports, quite an accomplishment for any individual quarterback to achieve.
Third down, 1.5 yards. Kevin Long, as penalty flags fly, Long goes into the end zone, but look out. It may be washed away by a penalty.
It's against
No,
New
it's
Jersey.
a touchdown. It's against New Jersey. And that thump you heard was the door slamming. The record for a fellow throwing the football and picking up yardage in pro football is Fran Tarkenton, 47,000 and something. That's why Fran's right arm is longer than the average.
Yeah, that's why Fran also has a list of used-up receivers about a mile long.
So the Wranglers have just put this one in the bank. They're going for the 20th point. Corral out of Risher's hold. And contact on the line of scrimmage. Could be against the Generals.
Now, what were you saying about Pittsburgh?
Delay of game, contact with the snapper,
I didn't say it.
priority of snap, defense.
I didn't say anything about Pittsburgh. I said, you're cooking.
I would like for you to know that I'm an excellent cook. Excellent cook.
But I'm sure you are, but no one's died yet. Between your cooking and New Orleans and your choice of New Orleans cuisine.
Mine's free.
Oh. Snap, a little high, slow getting it down, but he got it down well enough, and Corral knocks it through. With 1:35 to play in the football game, Arizona now has pulled out to a 20-3 lead in a bid to even their season record at 4-4. And George Allen, of course, has never had a losing team since he became a head coach, and only once previously, as he had a team that was below 500.
Well, we take a look here at Kevin Long once again, taking the handoff. It really doesn't seem like the New Jersey team is going after him with any intensity, with any zest in this ball game. They haven't played this ball game with much enthusiasm from the beginning. Kevin Long, on the other hand, has been playing phenomenal football this afternoon.
The play that sort of swung it around for Arizona was a fourth down play in which the snap was high to the punter, Frank Corral. Frank now has pressure, sees it coming, no chance to kick, so he runs out. Once he got outside, instead of going ahead and kicking the ball, he saw that he had a chance at a first down, ran for it, got it. That was followed by a 41-yard pass run play, Landry to Kevin Long, and since then, it has been all Arizona. It was only 6-3 at the time. Arizona leading by 3, but now it is 20-3 as Corral kicks off. The Geese watches it go out of bounds, and so they'll come back and assess Arizona 5 yards. Tim Spencer running back for the Wranglers now with Mike Berry.
Well, Keith, Tim Spencer has been the blocking back and the workhorse there with Kevin Long, who's been doing all the scoring, but the enthusiasm on this team is running rampant. You guys are happy now.
Yeah, we're happy now. We needed this victory. You know, we had a terrible loss last week, and we've been losing for about the last 2 or 3 games, and this is a great morale victory for us.
Anything special you did all week, Tim, to get this thing rallied and turn it all around and get it together?
Well, the only thing we could do is just work harder and try to eliminate the mistakes that we're making.
And you've done that?
Yes, we've done that.
All right, Tim Spencer. Keith?
A good-looking young man, isn't he? He was a heck of a running back for Earl Bruce at Ohio State.
126 yards, rushing, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches for 55 yards.
The kickoff is very, very short. Finally picked up by Hackett. And Hackett comes on back upfield, still going, up to the 35.
New Jersey Generals trailing this ball game 20-3. If they cannot salvage a win out of this ball game, at least they can salvage a little more respectability by making it a 20-10 ball game. Should they score and pick the extra point?
You can see Ted Dietrich there with his quarterback Greg Landry. He's been a little frustrated over the last couple of weeks along with his players. Now sight back. Bryan goes down the middle with it. It is batted up in the air by Minifield and incomplete. Marcus Hackett was the intended receiver and lost his footing, and the ball was a little bit behind him.
Well, he lost his footing trying to come back to the ball, fell back on his rear end. If he had only been able to keep his shoulders squared or had them squared upfield, he could have come back to the football, thereby creating a cushion, possibly making the catch.
Time remaining now, 1:21, as Philadelphia has defeated Chicago 41-7. And so the Stars are now 7-1 on the season. And about to take over sole possession of first place in the Atlantic Division. They set up the screen for Herschel Walker. And Walker's got a first down as he goes to the 49. The ball came loose. Arizona is claiming it. New Jersey will keep it.
I wonder what kind of halftime talk Walt Michaels gives his football club.
Let's check in now with Mike Berry.
Keith, I'm down here on the sideline with the man of the hour, Greg Landry. A super performance for you this afternoon. It took a while for you guys to get going. but you've got some breathing space now.
Well, we've made a lot of mistakes again today, but we were able to overcome them, and that was a sign of a great effort by this ball club. Everybody's counted us down and out, and hopefully that today's win, will spur us on and start playing good football.
We talked to you before the ball game, Greg, and you were able to turn it around today and do a lot of those things. Cut down on the mistakes.
I got to go.
All right, Greg Landry's back on the field.
Got to go because Herschel Walker just coughed it up on that pass reception, and the Wranglers' Stan White came away with it. And it's a turnover for New Jersey, and with 56 seconds to play, the Wranglers have firm control of this ball game. There you see the ball coming out on Eddie Brown's tackle.
Yeah. Well,
and now Stan White jumps on it.
Well, I'm sure our commentator on the sideline, Mike, understands the haste in which Landry left the interview.
You saw Greg's eyes get a little wide when he looked out on the field and saw the turnover. I got to go. So it's on the 45 for Arizona, and the matter of the outcome of this is totally academic now. The Arizona Wranglers about to go to a 4-4, while the Generals will lose their second. They'll be 6-2 and a game behind the Philadelphia Stars in the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference.
Well, once again, that defensive line of the Arizona Wranglers played a great ball game today, Keith, keeping pressure on Brian Sipes, stopping the running game for the most part, being all over the football field. I know one person in particular, number 74, Joe Herman on the sideline, is extremely happy because he gets a win for his mother's birthday today.
Take the snap and get the clock rolling, and they're going to run out the time. Jeff Napple, one of the reserve quarterbacks for the Generals, he and his wife Lola, new baby boy born yesterday, so it's a festive weekend for them. We welcome Benjamin Robert Napple to the world as George Allen exults in the victory by a score of 20-3 for Arizona over Walt Michaels' New Jersey Generals. So it was a ball game that Arizona had to have if they were to stay in the hunt. As Bill Harris, the other owner,